Before the light, before creation itself, there was a great and infinite abyss. This was not a void of emptiness, but a depth teeming with mystery, where dark waters whispered secrets hidden from mortal understanding. It is from this abyss that our story begins, the deep, the waters that covered the earth, and the eternal question that echoes in the depths. What lies beneath? The Bible speaks of a time before time, where chaos reigned and the world was formless. But why? How could the perfect Creator, whose works are always good, allow such darkness and confusion to exist? It is in these ancient waters that the answers reside, answers that were buried long ago, hidden beneath the ocean's surface. There is a world that existed before Adam, a world that was submerged, erased by divine judgment, locked away in the sea. Yet the abyss still holds memories, lost civilizations, and forgotten secrets. But the waters are not merely a symbol of destruction. They are also a symbol of preservation. Just as God parted the seas for his people, so too do the waters hold a hidden covenant, guarded by the four archangels, Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Uriel. These divine beings were not sent merely to announce, protect, or heal, but to keep watch over the great mystery of the abyss, guarding the forgotten truths that lie beneath. This is not just a story about the oceans. It is a story about the deep places in our own lives, the parts of us that we bury, the hidden fears and memories we are too afraid to face. Just as the archangels keep watch over the deep, so too must we watch over the depths of our own souls, ready to face the truths that we have long ignored. As we stand at the edge of this vast, mysterious ocean, we are called to venture deeper, to confront the secrets that the waters conceal. For the abyss is not just a place of judgment, but also a place of redemption. And one day, the day will come when the sea will no longer hide its secrets. When that day comes, what will we find beneath the surface? Will we be ready to face what is revealed? The four archangels will not just fight battles or announce the end of time. They will reveal what has been buried for ages. And when the day of revelation comes, when the sea gives up its dead, we will witness the great unveiling of the past, of the secrets of the universe, and perhaps of ourselves. The question is no longer what is hidden beneath the waters, but rather, are we prepared to know the truth when it rises to the surface? The abyss waits, and with it, the promise of what is yet to be uncovered. In the beginning, there was the earth, formless and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. But before that first spark of creation, there was something else. A vast and endless abyss, a deep, dark sea. This sea was not simply water as we understand it today. It was a place of mystery, a place where the very fabric of time and creation began to form. Yet hidden beneath its depths were secrets too powerful and too dangerous for the world above. The Bible begins with the creation of light, the first step in transforming the chaos into order. But what if the chaos itself was not the beginning? What if the waters that covered the earth were not the first, but the last remnants of something much older, a creation that was erased before mankind ever took breath? This idea has puzzled many. How could a perfect God allow such an imperfect beginning? And yet in the second verse of Genesis, we read about the earth being formless and empty, and the presence of darkness over the face of the deep. This is no simple image. It speaks to something far deeper, a mystery of creation that many have tried to uncover, but few have dared to explore. Before the world as we know it came into being, there was a creation that came and went, erased beneath the sea. This ancient world, this lost creation, is not something that is often spoken of in the scriptures. But in the writings of the early Jews and in the apocryphal texts, there are whispers of a time before Adam, a world before sin, a time before the flood. This earlier creation was submerged, buried beneath the very waters that God separated in the creation story. The sea, which often symbolizes both life and death, holds within it the remnants of a world that was lost. The great flood that came to wash away the sins of man may have also been a reset of creation itself, a divine judgment that wiped away a world that had failed in some way, a world that is now sealed in the deep. But what was this world like? What happened to it? How could such a vast and intricate creation be lost so completely that only its echoes remain, hidden beneath the waters? We do not have clear answers from the Bible, but the clues are there, scattered through the texts, buried in the deep, just as the secrets of this forgotten world are. The waters, the abyss, the deep, these are not merely physical descriptions, they are metaphors for something far greater. The sea, as depicted in the Bible, represents both the unknown and the uncontainable. It is a place where God's creation was both nurtured and destroyed. It is a place of beginnings and endings, where life and death meet, where the boundaries between the physical and spiritual worlds blur. One thing is clear: the creation that was submerged beneath the waters is not something easily forgotten. God's creation was not supposed to be formless and void, and yet in the beginning it was. This is where we see the first hint of a cosmic struggle, a battle between chaos and order, light and dark, good and evil. And in this battle, the waters, the deep, play a central role. But more than that, they are the key to understanding what was lost and what must one day be restored. The idea of a world before the world we know, a creation erased by divine judgment, is not an easy one to grasp. But in the apocryphal texts, such as the Book of Enoch, we see hints of this lost creation. In these ancient writings, we are told that before the fall of man, there were other beings, other creatures, and even other worlds that existed. Some scholars believe that these beings were not of this world, but were cast into the deep when their creation failed. The sea, it seems, was not just a place of water, but a prison, a place where God locked away the remnants of a world that had not fulfilled its purpose. The flood, therefore, was not only a judgment upon the sins of humanity, but a divine reset, a cleansing of the earth that allowed for a new beginning. But what if this judgment did not just wash away the sins of mankind, but also the remnants of a failed creation, sealed beneath the waters, hidden from view until the appointed time? The Bible speaks of the sea as a place where God holds the deep things, the things that are hidden from the eyes of men. It is where the spirits of the dead are said to be held, waiting for the final judgment. The sea is a place of separation, where the old world is buried and the new world is formed. In the book of Revelation, we are told that in the end there will be a new heaven and a new earth, and the sea will be no more. This is not merely a poetic statement. It is a declaration that what was hidden beneath the waters, what was lost in the abyss, will one day be revealed. The sea, which has long been a symbol of mystery, judgment, and chaos, will no longer have a place in the new creation. The deep will be opened, and the secrets of the old world will come to light. The lesson we can learn from the story of creation and the sea is this: nothing is ever truly lost. Even the deepest mysteries, even the darkest places, will one day be brought into the light. God's creation is not bound by time, and what has been hidden will be revealed in its time. This is the promise of the new creation, the promise that all things will be made new, that what was broken will be restored, and that the secrets buried beneath the waters will one day be known. In our own lives, we too have hidden places, places of darkness, pain, and regret, places that we try to bury deep within ourselves, just as the forgotten world was buried beneath the sea. But the story of creation and the sea reminds us that these hidden places are not beyond redemption. Just as God brought light to the formless void, He can bring light to the dark places of our hearts. Just as he will one day reveal the secrets of the deep, he will one day reveal the hidden parts of our lives so that we can be healed, restored, and made whole. But we must be willing to face these hidden places, to allow the light of God to shine into the depths of our souls. We must be willing to confront the darkness within us, to allow God to bring it into the light. And when we do, we will experience the greatest of all creations, a life made new, a life restored, and a life filled with the light of God's love. As we look forward to the day when the sea will be no more, when the deep will be opened, and all things will be made new, let us remember that we are part of this creation. We are part of the story of redemption, and just as God will one day restore the earth, He is at work restoring us. The deep is not a place to fear, but a place to embrace, for it is there that the greatest transformation takes place. And just as the sea once held the secrets of an ancient world, it will one day give way to a new creation, a creation where light reigns, where all things are made new, and where the hidden things are no longer hidden, but revealed in the fullness of God's glory. Before the beginning of time, before the world as we know it, the waters held secrets too profound for human understanding, kept hidden beneath the surface by four mighty beings, Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Uriel. These four archangels were not merely messengers or warriors, they were appointed guardians, protectors of divine secrets, entrusted with the preservation of cosmic knowledge that stretched beyond the scope of time and creation itself. They were not sent to watch over the earth or to simply announce the will of God. Their task was far more ancient, far more sacred. They were tasked with guarding the veil between worlds, protecting the hidden truths sealed beneath the depths of the ocean. The sea, as we know, is a place of mystery, a boundary between the seen and unseen, between life and death. It was here, in the dark abyss, where the first creation was submerged, hidden away from mortal eyes by divine command. This world was erased, forgotten by humanity, its existence reduced to whispers in the winds and echoes beneath the waves. Yet the waters held the memory of what was lost, and for centuries the four archangels kept watch, ensuring that the secrets of the ancient world would remain sealed until the appointed time. Michael the warrior stood at the gates of the deep, sword in hand, ready to fight against the forces that sought to break through the barriers of the past. As the defender of the divine order, Michael was more than just a protector of the faithful. He was the guardian of the primordial truth. In his charge lay the responsibility of keeping at bay those forces that would seek to undo God's creation, to free the spirits and secrets bound beneath the sea. He was not merely a celestial warrior, but the embodiment of God's will to protect the purity of creation. In his vigilance, he stood between the ancient chaos and the ordered world that God had brought forth. Gabriel the messenger was not just the one who delivered prophecies or announcements. Gabriel's role in guarding the secrets of the deep was one of revelation. He was the one who understood that the secrets hidden in the waters would one day be revealed, not just to those who would listen, but to the whole of creation. Gabriel's trumpet would one day sound the call that would break the silence of the abyss, waking what had long been dormant. But until that day, he stood as the keeper of the divine mysteries, a herald not only of the future, but of the truths that lay hidden beneath the ocean's surface. Raphael, the healer, was tasked with restoring balance and bringing wholeness to what had been broken. His work was not only in healing the physical, but also in mending the spiritual wounds that the ancient world had suffered. The deep waters, symbolizing the chaotic forces that had once swept through creation, contained remnants of those wounds. Raphael's role was to guard those spiritual wounds, to ensure that the forces that caused the fall of the first creation would not be allowed to spread their corruption to the new world. His healing touch kept the waters from overflowing, allowing only that which was pure to emerge when the time came. And then there was Uriel, the light-bearer, the one who would one day bring illumination to the darkest corners of the abyss. Uriel was the keeper of knowledge, the one entrusted with the mysteries of the heavens and the earth. His light would shine into the deepest recesses of the ocean, illuminating the secrets that had been hidden for so long. But Uriel's light was not merely for understanding, it was for judgment. In his light, the dark corners of creation would be revealed, and the truth of what had been hidden would be made known. Uriel stood at the threshold of revelation, ready to bring forth the light of God's understanding to a world that had long been kept in darkness. These four archangels were not mere guardians. They were the keyholders to the mysteries of creation. They watched over the sea, not just as a physical boundary, but as a spiritual one, holding back the forces that could undo the work of God. They were protectors of what was lost, standing as witnesses to the ancient creation that had been submerged and forgotten. And in their vigilance, they preserved the divine order, ensuring that the truth of what had been buried beneath the waters would not be lost forever. But why, you may ask, did these archangels remain silent for so long? Why did they not reveal the secrets of the sea sooner? The answer lies in the very nature of the secrets they guarded. The abyss was not just a physical place, it was a spiritual one. It represented the hidden aspects of creation, the parts of God's plan that were too vast, too deep for humanity to comprehend. The archangels were not simply waiting to reveal these secrets, they were waiting for the right time, when humanity was ready to understand, when the world was prepared to hear the truth that had been hidden beneath the sea. The archangels' role as guardians of the deep was not just to keep the secrets buried. They were waiting for the day when the time would come for these truths to be revealed. For just as the sea itself was a boundary between the known and the unknown, so too was the role of the archangels a boundary between the past and the future. They stood as the custodians of God's plan, ensuring that the ancient truths would be revealed in the fullness of time when the world was ready to receive them. But what of us? What do we learn from the archangels and their task of guarding the secrets of the sea? Perhaps it is this. There are things in our lives, in our hearts, in our souls, that are buried deep beneath the surface. These are the secrets we keep hidden from ourselves, the pain, the regrets, the fears, and the memories that we cannot face. Like the archangels, we too must stand guard over these hidden places, not to keep them locked away forever, but to wait for the right time to bring them into the light. For just as the archangels kept watch over the deep, we too must guard the deep places in our hearts. There will come a time when the light of God's truth will shine into those dark places, when the secrets we have buried will be brought to the surface. And when that time comes, we must be ready to face them, just as the archangels stand ready to reveal the secrets of creation. For in the light of God's truth, there is no darkness too deep, no secret too hidden, no pain too great that it cannot be healed. The archangels stand as symbols of the journey we all must take. They remind us that while there are mysteries hidden in the depths, there is also a promise of revelation, healing, and restoration. Just as they stand guard over the secrets of the sea, so too must we stand guard over the secrets of our souls, waiting for the day when the light of God's truth will shine upon us, and the darkness will be no more. The sea has always been a powerful symbol in the Bible, a place of mystery, fear, and judgment. And from the very beginning, the sea has been portrayed as a boundary between the known and the unknown, between life and death, between order and chaos. It is a place where the divine and the human meet, where the past and the future are intertwined. But the sea is not merely a body of water. It is a profound metaphor for the sins and punishments of the past, the secrets of the universe that have been hidden beneath its depths, and the judgment that awaits all who fail to turn toward God. The story of the sea begins in the opening verses of Genesis. The earth was formless and empty, and darkness covered the surface of the deep. In this deep, in the chaotic waters of the sea, God's creation began. But it was not without struggle. The sea, as a representation of the chaotic, the destructive, and the unknown, is where God's battle against the forces of disorder began. The sea was where the first judgment took place, the place where God's act of creation was not simply the bringing of life, but the setting of boundaries, the defining of what could and could not exist. In the beginning, the sea was not only a physical reality, but a spiritual one. It was a place where the powers of chaos were held in check, where the forces of evil were contained by God's divine will. And yet the sea also represented the great mystery of sin and punishment. It was here that the first judgment took place, where the chaos of the old world was submerged, erased by God's cleansing flood. This is where the world of Noah's time, a world filled with sin and violence, was washed away, a divine reset that would begin again, but only after the punishment had been rendered. The flood, in many ways, was a physical manifestation of God's judgment. The waters came, and they did not discriminate. The flood drowned everything in its path, a reminder that the wages of sin are death, and that no one can escape God's judgment. Yet, even in this destruction, there was a glimmer of hope. Noah and his family were saved, a righteous remnant preserved to begin anew. The sea, in this case, was both a place of death and a place of salvation. For it was through the waters that salvation came, a symbol of rebirth and new life. But the sea, as we know, did not simply disappear after the flood. It remained, continuing to hold within its depths the secrets of the old world. It was no longer just a place of destruction, but also a place of concealment, a place where the remnants of the past, sins, punishments, and lost knowledge were buried. The sea became a kind of spiritual prison, a place where the forces of evil and the consequences of sin were locked away, waiting for the day when they would be revealed. In the book of Revelation, we are told that the sea will one day give up its dead, and the dead who are in it will be judged. This is a moment of great significance, as it marks the final reckoning for all that has been hidden beneath the waters, all the secrets, all the wrongs, all the sins that have been concealed throughout history. The sea, in this case, is not just a body of water, but a symbol of everything that has been buried, everything that has been silenced. It is the place where the past is kept, a place where the weight of sin and the consequences of evil are hidden from view, but not forever. The judgment of the sea is a sobering thought. It reminds us that no sin is ever truly forgotten, no wrong is ever truly hidden. Even when we think we have buried our sins beneath the surface, they remain, awaiting the day when they will be revealed. The sea, as a symbol of judgment, is a powerful reminder of the consequences of sin. It is a reminder that nothing is ever beyond the reach of God's judgment, and that one day all things will be exposed for what they truly are. But this revelation of sin and judgment is not just about punishment. It is also about redemption. For when the sea gives up its dead, it is not only the sinful who will rise, but the righteous as well. The sea in this way becomes a symbol not only of judgment, but also of the promise of resurrection and restoration. Just as the flood was a cleansing, a washing away of sin, so too will the judgment of the sea bring about a purification of all things. The sins of the past will be judged, but in the end, God's mercy will triumph over judgment, and the redeemed will be restored. The sea, therefore, is both a place of punishment and a place of mercy. It is the place where sin is confronted, but also the place where grace is revealed. The lesson here is not one of despair, but one of hope. For while the sea holds the secrets of the past, it also holds the promise of new life. It is in the deep, in the darkest places, that God's grace can shine the brightest. illuminating the path of redemption. As we reflect on the role of the sea in the Bible, we are reminded that there are depths within us all, places of darkness, pain, and sin that we may try to bury, to keep hidden from the world. But just as the sea holds the secrets of the past, so too does God know the secrets of our hearts. He sees the darkness, but he also sees the potential for light. He knows the depths of our sin, but he also knows the depth of his mercy. And just as God will one day bring to light the secrets hidden beneath the sea, so too will he bring to light the secrets of our hearts. We may try to hide our sins, our regrets, our fears, but God sees them, and he is ready to reveal them, not for condemnation, but for healing. The sea may hold the memories of the past, but God holds the future. And in his love, he offers us a chance to be washed clean, to rise from the depths, to emerge from the darkness and into the light. The judgment of the sea is not the end. It is a beginning of purification, of redemption, and of restoration. Just as the sea once held the remnants of a broken creation, it will one day give way to a new creation, a new world where sin no longer has power, where the deep no longer holds its secrets, where the past is redeemed and made new. So let us not fear the sea, nor the judgment that it represents. Instead, let us embrace the hope that lies within it, the hope that even in our darkest moments, God's grace is there, waiting to bring us to the surface, waiting to wash us clean, waiting to reveal the new life that he has promised. The sea may hold the secrets of the past, but in God, we have the promise of a future where all things are made new. The sea has long been a place of mystery, a symbol of chaos and judgment, holding within its depths the secrets of the past. But in the fullness of time, the sea will no longer remain a place of concealment. It will no longer be a prison for the ancient mysteries, the forgotten truths, or the hidden sins. In the final chapter of creation, when God's divine plan reaches its apex, the sea will give up its dead, and the secrets it has held for so long will be revealed. But this will not be a moment of destruction. It will be a moment of revelation, of purification, and of redemption. As the book of Revelation foretells, in the end, there will be a new heaven and a new earth, and the sea will be no more. The very thing that has separated the known from the unknown, the past from the future, will cease to exist. But why, you may ask, will the sea disappear? What is it about the sea that makes it such a vital symbol in God's plan for the end of all things? The answer lies not in the physical waters, but in the spiritual role that the sea has played throughout history. The sea has always represented the boundary between the known and the unknown, between the earthly and the divine. It is a place where the forces of chaos have been contained, where the remnants of a forgotten world have been sealed. But it is also a place where God's judgment and mercy intersect, where sin is confronted and redemption is promised. It is a place where the secrets of the past are hidden, awaiting the day when they will be brought to light. And when that day comes, it will be the Archangels, Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Uriel, who will stand as the agents of God's final revelation, the ones entrusted with unveiling the mysteries that the sea has long held in silence. Michael the warrior is the first to stand before the sea. He is the one who has always fought against the forces of evil, who has defended the faithful and upheld God's divine order. But in the end, Michael's role will not simply be to fight against the enemies of God, it will be to open the gates of the deep and release the secrets that have been buried there. He will wield the sword of God's truth, cutting through the darkness that has long shrouded the mysteries of creation. With his sword, he will tear down the barriers that have separated the visible from the invisible, the known from the unknown. The ancient world, long submerged beneath the waves, will finally rise, and with it, the truth of what was lost and forgotten, will be revealed. Gabriel, the messenger, will then sound his trumpet. His call will not just announce the end of time, but will signal the revelation of the hidden things, the truths that have been locked away in the sea for centuries. Gabriel's trumpet will pierce the silence, breaking the stillness of the deep and calling forth the secrets that have been buried beneath the waters. His voice will echo through the heavens and the earth, announcing the time of revelation. The sea, which has long been a symbol of concealment, will be shattered, and all that was hidden will be brought to the surface. Raphael, the healer, will follow. His role has always been to restore, to bring healing to the wounded, and to mend what has been broken. But in the final days, Raphael's healing touch will extend to the very creation itself. As the sea gives up its dead, as the secrets of the past are revealed, Raphael will be there to bring restoration. He will heal the wounds that sin and chaos have left upon the earth, purifying the waters that once held the remnants of the old world. The sea, which has been a place of judgment, will become a place of renewal, as Raphael's healing power brings forth the new creation that God has promised. And Uriel, the light-bearer, will bring the final illumination. As the secrets of the deep are revealed, Uriel will shine the light of God's truth upon them. His light will not just reveal the hidden things, but will also bring understanding. For the mysteries that have been locked away in the sea are not meant to be feared, but understood. Uriel's light will pierce the darkness, bringing clarity to the confusion that has surrounded the past. With his light, Uriel will show the way forward, guiding all who are ready to embrace the truth that is being revealed. The future of the sea, then, is not one of destruction, but of transformation. It will no longer be a place of concealment, but a place of revelation, of healing, and of redemption. The deep, which has long held the secrets of creation, will no longer be a boundary between the known and the unknown, but a place where the truth of God's plan is fully revealed. The sea will give up its dead, not in a final act of judgment, but in a moment of resurrection. All that was once hidden will be brought to the light, and those who are willing to face the truth will be restored to their rightful place in God's new creation. And what of us? What does this mean for us in our own lives? The sea represents not only the mysteries of creation, but the hidden places within each of us. It is in the depths of our own hearts that we sometimes bury the truth, that we hide the pain, the regrets, the sins that we cannot face. But just as the sea will one day give up its dead, so too will the deep places within our hearts be revealed. There is no sin too hidden, no shame too deep, that God cannot bring to the surface. And when he does, he will not do so to condemn us, but to heal us, to restore us, and to bring us into the light of his love. The Archangels, Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Uriel, will be the ones to bring about this revelation, to unveil the secrets that have been buried. But in our own lives, we too must be ready for the time when our hidden places are brought to the surface. Just as the sea will give up its dead, so too must we give up the things we have buried, the things we have kept hidden. But we need not fear this revelation, for it is not a judgment to condemn us, but a call to healing, a call to restoration. God does not bring our sins to the surface to punish us, but to purify us, to make us whole again. The future of the sea, the future of creation, and the future of our lives are all intertwined in this great revelation. The sea, which has long been a symbol of mystery and fear, will one day be transformed into a symbol of hope and renewal. The secrets of the deep will no longer be hidden, but will be revealed for all to see. And in that revelation, we will find healing, redemption, and the promise of a new creation, a creation where all things are made new, and where the light of God's truth shines forevermore. As the sea gives up its dead, and the archangels bring forth the truth, let us remember that we too are part of this great revelation. We are part of God's divine plan, and as the secrets of the past are revealed, we too are called to step into the light of His love, to be healed and to be made new. The sea may hold the mysteries of the past, but in the end, it will give way to the truth, and that truth will set us free. As we stand on the edge of creation, the mysteries of the sea, the depths that have long held secrets from our understanding, beckon us to look deeper. These ancient waters, once a symbol of chaos and destruction, now call us to uncover the forgotten truths and to seek the restoration that comes only through divine revelation. From the creation of light to the separation of waters, from the flood that wiped away a sinful world to the promise of a new heaven and earth, the story of the sea is intertwined with God's plan of redemption and renewal. In the days to come, the sea will give up its dead. The secrets that have been locked away beneath the waves will be revealed. It is not just the forces of evil that will rise from the deep, but also the lost, the broken, the forgotten parts of creation that have been sealed in the abyss for millennia. And when that day comes, the Archangels, Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Uriel, will stand as witnesses to the great unveiling. The deep will no longer hide the darkness, for God's light will shine through the abyss and into the hearts of all creation, illuminating what was once lost. But this revelation is not just about the end of time. It is about the end of the old world, the old ways of sin, pain, and separation. It is a reminder that no matter how deep we bury our secrets, no matter how dark our sins may be, God's grace is greater still. Just as He will reveal the hidden things of creation, He is also waiting to reveal the hidden places in our hearts, the secrets we try to keep buried, the pains we think we have forgotten, the sins we believe are too far gone. God knows them all, and He is ready to bring them to the surface, not to condemn us, but to heal us, to restore us, and to make us whole again. There is no darkness too deep that God cannot shine His light into it. There is no past too broken that He cannot make it new. The sea, which has long been a symbol of chaos and judgment, will one day be no more, and in its place there will be a new creation, one where God's love and light fill every corner, and where the mysteries of the past are revealed for all to see. As we reflect on the future of the sea and the great revelation that is to come, we are reminded that we too have a role to play. We are not merely passive observers in God's plan, we are participants in the story of redemption. The deep places in our lives, the fears, the regrets, the hidden sins, are waiting to be brought into the light. But first, we must be willing to face them, to allow God to reveal the truth that lies within us. Just as the sea will give up its dead, so too must we give up the things that we have buried, the things that we have hidden away for far too long. God's love is not just a promise for the future, it is a promise for the present. The light that will one day shine through the deep is already shining in our lives. We may not see it fully yet, but it is there, waiting for us to embrace it. It is through this light that we will find healing, restoration, and the strength to face whatever is hidden within us. It is through this light that we will be made whole again, and it is through this light that we will experience the fullness of God's love and grace. So as we look to the future, let us not fear the secrets that the sea holds, but let us welcome the light that will bring them to the surface. Let us not be afraid of the revelation that is to come, for it is not a revelation of condemnation, but of redemption. And as we await the day when the sea will be no more, let us live in the light of God's truth, allowing His love to guide us, heal us, and make us new. If you've been moved by these truths, If you felt the call to dive deeper into the mysteries of creation and the revelation that is to come, then I encourage you to like and subscribe. This journey is far from over, and together we will continue to explore the depths of God's love and His divine plan for redemption. The secrets of the deep are waiting to be revealed, and the light of God's truth is ready to shine through. Join us as we continue this journey, and may we all be transformed by the light that will one day make all things new.